That's what they called him downriver in the Rio Grande Valley. We'd been tracking him since dawn, tracks as big as a grizzly's. But only now, up close, did I realize how much his name really fitted him. The Brute.
He don't mean for us to take him without killing him.
Just the way an animal figures.
Yeah, I understand he broke Zach Waller's spine like it was a dry twig. I sure don't mean to get close enough to him for him to pile me up.
Marshal, try talking to him once more.
All right. Listen good, Bruto! You might be mute, but you ain't deaf. Now I'm taking you in one way or the other. Nice and peaceful, or good and dead. He made his choice.
Don't kill him, Marshal.
What else can I do?
He's over there to the right. Keep your gun on him. See if you can hold his attention.
Well, what are you gonna do?
Did you ever capture wild horses? The idea is to crease their skull, bring them down good as new. Anyway, that's the idea. I never had much luck at it myself.
Use this?
No, I'm more used to this one.
Complain about your luck today, Vance. You ought to stick to wild humans.
Maybe it wasn't luck. Maybe it had something to do with it being Christmas Eve.
Like what?
Well, I'd kind of hate to be a party to a killing on a day like today. That's what I was thinking when I squeezed off the trigger.
Yeah?
Well, maybe you wouldn't call it thinking. More like praying. So he strung him up like a prize bull and took him along. Stop a minute, Marshal. Here, hold this.
We're never going to reach San Felipe tonight.
I was thinking about that.
Well, I'm sorry I dragged you away from your ranch, Van. Spoiled your Christmas with the boys.
That's all right, Marshal. There's one thing sadder than our overgrown friend here. It's a bunch of cowboy strays on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, Mrs. had me all fixed up to play Santa Claus for the kids tonight.
What are we going to do? Any place we can lay over? I don't relish camping out with him.
Over there near Ocati Creek, there's a mission orphanage run by the Franciscans. Padre Basilico's a fine man. What did I say to set him off?
I don't know. Let's go.
the last night of the Posada. Truly a night for miracles. First, the heart of the cruel innkeeper shall melt like snow before the fire. You are the Blessed Mother Mary, and you are Saint Joseph. Tonight you will find refuge and shelter. Then, miracle of miracles, a child shall be born. The infant Savior who will bring light and hope to a dark world. And so, my niños, that is why tonight must be full of happiness and joy. Continue with the Posada, Brother Terence.
Now, then, Jesus, you'll be remembering what you have to do.
Si, Padre.
Irena?
Si, si.
And I'll be taking me leave to the barn. Oh, wretched me. Oh, blessed Saint Brigid and Saint Patrick, look down upon a poor Irishman in a strange land with strange ways, and be remembering I'm only playing a part. The foul, heartless innkeeper.
He could not do it. I do not believe he could do such a thing.
I'm sorry, Padre. All I know is what I heard from Sheriff
Yes,
Dutcher.
but-
He was working for two brothers named Waller on a farm near Socorro. He killed one of them with his bare hands.
Why do you say he couldn't have done such a thing, Padre?
He was one of our boys here years ago.
Oh. That explains why he got so excited when you mentioned the Padre's name.
John, look at me. You remember me, Padre Basilico? You reject even me. Oh, what has this world done to you? He was such a gentle boy.
Sir, I beg of you, with all your charity, to give shelter to this lady.
My house awaits only him who has money, and heaven help him who has none.
I am the Queen of Heaven.
Sure, that's what I've been waiting to hear, me darlings. Come in, welcome everybody. Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad. There's plenty of room in the inn. Come on in now. Come in, darlings. Come in, little one. There you go. Come on in now. There's the goodbye. Come in, sister.
All right, Padre, we've got to bed this big fella down for the night. You got a place that'll hold him?
See, this part of the barn was once used by the Army of Mexico as a prison.
All right, Bruto. John, get going.
Inside, Bruto. Inside.
Juan, por favor.
Now then, me beautiful Queen of Heaven, you're all ready to hit the pinata. Thank you, sister. Here you are. Now, I'll make very sure that you don't know where it is. 1, 2, 3, and don't look at me with it. Now, hit. Now, and I'm going to make very sure that you don't know where it is.
Well, we don't like it neither, Padre, but he's dangerous.
Everyone is invited to join in our simple Christmas pleasures.
That human ox has gotten under my skin.
Something from you.
It was a fine day in September in the merry month of July. The morning it was raining and the afternoon was dry. When I met a fair damoiselle sitting under the old oak tree. And the little word I said to her and she said the same to me.
He must be very hungry. Why are you here?
All right, now, if you insist. I just happen to have a touching little ballad from my native land about St. Joseph himself. By the way, where is little Jesus?
I cannot explain it, my son. The many things that can happen to a man. But it is right that you look upon every living thing with love. John was given to a family of settlers on their way to California for adoption. How did these men get him? Did they know how to treat a boy who could not speak? Who was full of fear because of the shame of it? Can you answer me these things, Marshal?
Sorry, Padre. All this star means to me is doing my duty, like I was told to do it.
Yes. Yes, I suppose that is so. Buenas noches.
Good night, Padre.
I don't know about you, but I'm raw frazzled. I'm gonna get some sleep.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I feel like the devil.
I still couldn't find it in my heart to kill the big one. The marshal was shaken up some, but not hurt bad. Maybe I could knock him out. Hold it, Bruto. Bruto, you remember about guns, don't you? Yeah, you remember. All right, move back. Go on, move.
Give us side door.
Padre, is there another way out of the barn?
Oh, no, senor.
I just found out. An old story for him. Trapped again. Padre, you better get the children back inside.
Oh, yes. Brother Terence, take the children back inside.
Maybe you better go inside too, Padre. If he breaks out, we'll have to shoot him down.
That you, Dutcher?
Sure is, Walt. Well, I finally caught up with you.
Well, you've got the brute in there, ain't you? Why ain't he dead by now? You're the law. You know what he's done.
You got something wrong, mister. This isn't a lynching party.
I've heard those stories, how you and your brother mistreated those Mexicans that work on that farm of yours. There's talk that you bullwhipped that mute in there. Even yoked him to a plow.
You don't know what you're saying. Zach and me took him in from a burnt wagon 10 years ago and give him a home. Well, we made him earn his board and keep. But we never hurt him none. Never whipped him like you say. And that's the Lord's truth.
Senor.
Padre! Padre!
What is it, Brother Terence?
Padre, have you seen little Jesus? I can't find him anywhere.
It's awfully quiet in that barn.
You don't think.
I don't know. But the lad sure took a fancy to him.
Be careful. He's got a gun. Looks like he's going to shoot the kid.
You don't aim to kill him, I will.
So you and your brother never whipped him?
Look at his back.
Now you do it.
In nomine Padre, et Filio et Spiritus Sanctus. O merciful God, grant to all of us here the wisdom thou hast poured forth into this soul of this simple child. Grant that we may not so much seek to be consoled as to console others, to be understood as to understand, or to be loved as to love. For it is in giving we know, O Lord, that we receive. For it is in pardoning that we ourselves are pardoned. Amen. Jesus, you take your new friend inside. Find him a place to sleep. He must be very tired. Take him.
Padre, you know I have to take him back.
Oh, do not worry. I will be responsible for him. Marshal Jason and Senor Bonner will bring him to San Felipe.
Sure, Padre. But you know that John has to stand trial. But if I know my people, it'll be a clear verdict of self-defense. Come on, boys.
When the trial ends, as we hope it will, I will bring John back here. It is the only real home he has ever known. He loves the children. He will be happy here.
I think it's going to be a beautiful Christmas.
Mira, la estrella de pastor, amigos.
The morning star.
Peace on earth, gentlemen. Bob Jefferson, whom I'd worked with when he surveyed the railroad route through Gorson Pass, had asked me to look in on Father Luke at Santa Rosa Mission. Said he wanted to talk to me. I couldn't figure out how he knew me in the first place, and since I hadn't had much to do with priests, I was a little nervous.
Come in, come in.
Father Luke?
Yes, and you must be Mr. Bonner.
Yes, sir.
Come in, Mr. Bonner, and make yourself comfortable.
Thank you.
How long has it been since you were inside a church, Mr. Bonner?
Oh, well, too long, Father.
Well, we're human in spite of what some people say. Please, sit down and relax. I'm sure it must have been a tiresome trip. A little wine, perhaps. We make it ourselves. We're very proud of it.
Oh, thank you. Father, I understood you wanted to transact some business with me. The word I got was urgent.
If it's business you want, business you shall have. Mr. Bonner, I sent for you because your name has come to stand for courage and integrity in this territory.
How can I help you?
Ours is an order of missionaries, Mr. Bonner. Some of us, myself included, have established missions in the most remote parts of this country. One such mission has not been heard from in much too long a time. I have been assigned to go to that mission and see that all is well with the priest.
Well, that shouldn't be difficult for you, Father. If I were to guess, I'd guess you to be an experienced trailhand.
You'd guess wrong. I've been concerned with other things. I need a guide, Mr. Bonner. A good one. I need you.
I'm not a professional guide, Father. Of course, if I knew the country...
I understand you know it well. Our trip will start here at Santa Rosa, go over into Arizona to Santo Domingo.
Santo Domingo?
Yes.
But that's strictly Indian country. I don't believe there's been a white man in there for years.
There has been one, and I must find him.
It could be dangerous, Father. There are no trails. We'd have to make our own.
I'm prepared for that.
I hope you are. Well, the tally checks out just fine, Father. You've bought enough beans and meal to supply a whole army.
That's an interesting comparison.
I don't suppose you'd be willing to consider changing your mind.
I put it off much too long already. There'll be no more delays.
That about sums it up. We're ready to move.
Oh, Mr. Bonner, there is something else that I should tell you.
What's that?
The supplies on that wagon are not just for the two of us. There will be others on the trip.
That's a welcome surprise to me, Father. We can use a couple of good hands on country like that.
No, I'm afraid you don't quite understand. Good afternoon, sisters. Please come in. Mr. Bonner, Sister Marquette, and Sister Teresa.
Mr. Bonner, I'm very proud to meet you.
I'm happy to meet you, sister. And you, too.
Indeed, Mr. Bonner.
Well, Father, I'm anxious to meet our passengers.
You just have.
The sisters?
That's correct, Mr. Bonner.
They are nurses as well as teachers. We are told that the Indian women and children are badly in need of such care.
They've been in need of such care for centuries. A little while longer won't make any difference.
A little while longer will bring snow, and that will mean the delay of another year.
Those Indians are hunting scalps, not reading and writing.
I don't hand out the assignments. I just accept them.
Father, it was bad enough to hope that you and I could make it alone. With these women along, we don't stand a chance.
You are a man of very little faith, Mr. Bonner.
I know the country better than you, Father.
You may know the country.
Excuse me, Father. May I have a word? Mr. Bonner, we have not come this far just to cause trouble. I think you know that. But we have our missions to accomplish. If we're successful, maybe it won't be so dangerous for the next ones.
I'm sorry I lost my temper. I realize that to ask a man to participate in a cause in which he's not really
Father,
a part...
Do you think these sisters know just what such a trip means?
I think we know, Mr. Bonner.
I think you don't, sister. Have you ever seen an Indian smeared with war paint, with a scalping knife in his hand? Have you seen men and women staked out on the plain to die in the sun?
No, and I don't think you have, Mr. Bonner.
What can I do to convince you people?
Is it possible that I overestimated you, Mr. Bonner?
It's entirely possible, Father. I'm sorry. Good day.
Just a minute, sisters. I'll help you.
Here, sister, let me help you. There you are, Father.
Good morning, Mr. Bonner.
You know, I still couldn't believe that you intended to make this trip.
Oh, there's one more thing. If you'll give me a hand, it'll only take a minute. Then you can be on your way and we'll be on ours, huh?
Mighty handsome bell, Father.
I don't suppose it makes any difference to the Lord. But a mission doesn't seem complete to me without a bell.
Or a priest?
Sun's getting high, Mr. Bonner. The sisters and I should be hitting the trail.
Hold it, Father. If I can't talk you out of this trip, well, least I can do is go along with you.
You have a very great talent. It isn't every man who can make one feel at home out in the middle of nowhere.
Think nothing of it, sister.
I think you should make some girl a very acceptable husband.
Coming from Sister Teresa, I would consider that a compliment of the greatest proportion.
Father, maybe you can tell me something. Why is it that women, all of them, always want to talk about marriage?
I would hardly consider that a basis for complaint, Mr. Bonner. Somewhere inside you, she sees a gentleness, a kindness. Like every other young woman, she doesn't want to see it go to waste.
But she's a nun.
And she's a woman, Mr. Bonner.
Up ahead about 3 or 4 hours. We just as well stay there for the night. It's as good a place as any among these bluffs.
Well, now we'll get some rest, huh? Suem piesamem. Thank you.
Thank you, sister.
You do wonders with these dried beans, Sister Teresa.
It's a simple formula, Father. A cup of beans, a little luck, and 2 very hungry men who would eat anything after 4 weeks on the trail.
Amen.
I've got a favor to ask, Father.
Anything at all, Mr. Bonner.
Well, it's this Mr. Bonner business. Would you mind calling me Vint? All these Mr. Bonners will spoil me for when I get back among just everyday folks.
Well, speaking for myself, I should be delighted. As for Sister Teresa, you'll have to take that up with her yourself.
Well, sister?
I would consider it an honor, Vint.
Thank you.
Put it off. Wouldn't have softened the blow.
It looks like you've come a long way for nothing.
No, Bent. This is a beginning.
We are 2 men and a girl, Father. This was done by Apache warriors. They don't play by your rules.
Have we given them much chance?
What about the girl?
Sister Teresa may return with you if she wishes. That is a decision you will have to get from her.
Sister, we've come far into dangerous country. The Indians have raided the mission once. They can do it again. If you wish, I'll take you back to your convent.
I know that you're only thinking of us. But what you see around you is not the product of defeat. It's more a reminder of all the work there is to be done. If I am to help, I must be where I am needed.
To do a man's work?
God's work.
Well, Father, you've got your bell.
A truly beautiful sight.
It's wonderful, Father.
50, 100 years from now, when men have forgotten the differences that caused the bloodshed here, they will still see the bell. But enough preaching for today. I think we owe ourselves a little celebration.
We can't just leave him there. We can't leave him there. We've got to help him. But he's hurt. He'll die if we don't go back.
Too late, sister.
No.
He's dead.
Not Father.
He's got an arrow clear through him. He was a fine man, but he was only a man.
And us? What about us?
We can wait. It was a typical Apache trick to strike with terror and then wait for panic.
Anything?
I can't figure it out. They should have rushed us by now. She was frightened, I think, but she didn't show it. She had real courage.
Is there any chance for us?
Some, maybe.
You can be truthful with me.
Sister, I don't know how many there are of them, but there's only 2 of us. These people haven't changed their customs for hundreds of years. To them, you'll be like any other white woman. They'll have no respect for what you wear or what you stand for. This could be it. I didn't know what to expect, but this could be the bait. I decided to hold my fire. Since he was alone, I'd better not show my hand yet. Looked like he was wounded, but I'd learned long before to never trust appearances where an Indian was concerned. flowered shirt meant he could be a chief's son. He was hurt all right. Looked like he'd taken a bad fall.
There. That ought to keep it clean until he can get back to his own people.
You want to let him go?
Yes.
Let every brave in the countryside know that there's only two of us here?
I wouldn't be surprised if they know it already, Mr. Bonner. He's only a boy. I want you to let him go.
For the life of me, I cannot say why. But I did as she said. I admire your trust, sister. But we're getting out of here, even if I have to tie you hand and foot to do it. If you're wrong, we'll be dead by nightfall. If I'm wrong, we'll live a little while longer.
And Father Luke?
I'll dig a place for him.
By his bell, Mr. Bonner. I think he would like it like that.
This was borrowed time, all of it. By everything I knew, both of us should be dead by now. He broke the war arrow. I could hardly believe my eyes. That one act of Christian charity could conquer an Apache war party seemed impossible. Buffalo hides, blankets, each brought a peace offering. you, sister. Let me add mine.
Bent, I already have much more than I can ever spend.
Someday you'll have need of it. I knew she would be safe. It says in the book that faith can move mountains. It seems more important to me that it can move people.